Hi, I'm Erica.
I'm Brianna. We are Blagini, and this is Tipsy Talks. If you're new to our channel, thank you so much for joining us. If you are coming back with us, we're so excited that you're here. Please like and subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notifications so that you never miss a Tipsy Talk.
Today's Tipsy Talk topic is all things bridal attire. Brianna used to work in a bridal store, and so she has all of the ins and outs about ordering a bridal gown, size, alterations, and all of that. So she gets the Okay. Today's Tipsy Talk is all about bridal attire. So Brianna used to manage and work for a bridal boutique, and so we are going to kind of turn over the talk today to Brianna. She knows all about fit, sizing, alterations, order time, all of those things, and I'm going to chime in where I can, but we're going to turn it over to Bri.
So something I always tell my brides is going into trying on your bridal gown, make sure you try on everything. You may say, I really want this style, I know for a fact, but try it all on. See, just try it on, even if you don't think that you're going to go with it, just so that you can say, well, I tried it, or, oh, that was fun, because you might surprise yourself. I'm going to tell a quick story about this bride that I helped one time. She comes in, she's like, I'm getting married in Vegas, I want the shortest dress, I want, like, there can be holes in it, it can show everything, it doesn't even have to be a bridal gown, I just want something fun and cute. And we tried thing after thing after thing on, and she's like, no. Well, Mom thought it would be funny to bring over this big poofy ball gown. She kept saying, I don't want to look like a cupcake. Get that out of here. That's ugly. No. And finally, because she wasn't finding anything, she said, well, right before I leave, I'll put this on. This is going to be so funny. I'm going to tell him this is what I got. And she put it on, and she just started crying.
Aww.
And she's like, this is it, like, this is my wedding gown. And
I think that happens more often than not, doesn't it?
And she walked away with it, and she loved it, and I laughed because I'm like, you thought you knew what you wanted coming in here, and you went with the exact opposite and the exact thing you said, don't ever bring near me. But with that, it goes to show you really don't know what you want on your wedding day, because your wedding day is something so different and so special than what you wear every day.
Mm-hmm.
You want to stand out. You want to feel like a bride. Even those who are saying like, nah, I don't, it's not that big of a deal for me. It really is when you get down to it. It's your wedding day. So go in, try everything on. You can tell your assistant or your bridal consultant, this is the style I'm really drawn to, but I would love to maybe try on different fits that kind of replicate maybe this look or this style. If it's a boho style, I still try on a ball gown and see, maybe you have more lace with a boho twist to it, but it may still be a ball gown. Or I am getting married here and I want the big ball gown and I want to feel like a princess, but I am also still willing to try on something that is more fitted. Maybe it just has more glitz and more design and detail to it, more beading and a little more intricate detail to bring out that princess feel, and you might fall in love with that as well. So that's my first suggestion going in, is go in with more of an open mind than you might necessarily not want to in the beginning. The other thing to keep in mind when going to try on bridal gowns is remember the time that it takes to arrive. So a lot of times brides will think, oh, I'm going to go in, I'm going to try on the dress, they're going to have it in stock, I'm going to walk away with it. And sometimes people know, like, that's not the case. So if you didn't, that's not the case at most boutiques. So if you're going into a boutique, keep in mind they probably won't have your size in stock unless you happen to be the size of their sample gown. If it is as a sample and you decide you want to go ahead and order it, when you order it, do not just say, oh, that size fit me perfectly, that's the size I'm going with, unless it's brand new. Make sure you take measurements. With that in mind, they will only take 3 measurements, bust, waist, hip, and they will say, okay, your bust is measuring into a size 4, your waist is measuring into a size 6, and your hips are closer, they're like between a 4 and a 6. Well, my suggestion would be to go with the 6 because chances are you're going to have the dress altered if you're between sizes. If you say, well, I tried the 4 on and it fit me perfectly. I know I'm between a 4 and a 6, but I'm going to order the 4 because that's what I tried on. Something you need to remember is you're not the only one that tried on that size 4. That size 4 has been tried on several times. Probably it's a little more stretched and worn. The one that they order for you is going to be a lot snugger and a lot stiffer. So keep that in mind when deciding. Another thing too is,
and sizes aren't true to what you would normally go in and find out pant sizes, right?
So if you wear like a 4 in jeans, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a 4 in your dress because designers are from all over the world. So some are European sizes, some are US sizes, but you need to keep that in mind as well. Don't be like, oh my gosh, I'm not a 4, I'm a 0.
Don't cry in the dressing room. Yeah, it's totally okay.
Don't pay attention. No one's going up to you on your wedding day, unzipping your dress and looking at your tag and thinking, oh my gosh, she ordered a size 9 or 10. That doesn't
matter. Doesn't mean anything.
No, and like I said, you will have to have it altered. So whatever size you do order, it's probably not going to remain that size once it comes in. So keeping that in mind, bust, waist, hip, go with the bigger size of the 2 because you can always take it in. It's like hair. You can chop it off, but you can't put the fabric back on. There is ways to open it up and to extend it if needed. The seamstress can work with you, but to avoid having to do that, if you don't have to, order the size, between the 4 and a 6, order the size 6.
And order what you are measuring at.
Yeah.
Don't try to order a smaller size and go on some crazy crash diet. Order the size you're in. Like she said, they can always alter it.
Yeah.
But
and if you're going on a diet and you decide, I'm going to exercise and I'm going to do all this stuff, let's say you start exercising and you're feeling great and you say like, wow, the scale is changing, but then you start building muscle, the muscle may replace whatever you're losing. So your sizing, you may look thinner, feel thinner, and you may be seeing those results, but then you go put the dress on and you're like, what the heck? It still doesn't fit. Your bones don't change. If you're broader, that's not going to change on a diet or exercise. No, your ribs don't move, all of that. So keep that in mind. If you're between a 4 and a 6, let's say you're measuring or like a 6 and an 8 or 8 and a 10, and your bust is measuring at the 6 and your waist is measuring at the 6, but your hip is measuring at an 8, well then you can look at the dress and think, okay, it's a ball gown, so it's not fitted. You could probably order the 6 and be just fine unless the slip is absolutely snug, which usually isn't the case in the ball gown. So in that instance, you can look at the style of your dress.
And your consultant
will tell you that right? As well. Yeah. So don't think, they took my measurements when it comes in and needs to fit me exactly. No, they order based off the designer's size chart. The designer isn't going to make it especially for you only unless that is a request. And that is something that you would have to talk to the boutique and see if their designers even offer that. Or you're having the dress specially made by a seamstress and she's making it just for you. Again, that's a different story. So we've gone over sizes, we've gone over trying things on. Something else to remember is if you are going in and your wedding is in 4 months, chances are you will not have time to order it. Designers sometimes carry dresses in stock, but not always. And not always do they have every size in stock. They may have what is more in demand in stock. But again, they ship out according to when something was ordered. So let's say that you ordered today, somebody else ordered 2 months ago. That size that they ordered is ready. The person who ordered it 2 months ago is going to get it first, not you because your wedding is first. So keep that in mind. It takes 4 to 6 months, sometimes longer, for a dress to come in depending on where it's coming from, where it's shipping to, and what season it is. So bridal Christmas is something that is talked about a lot around boutiques and different salons that carry bridal gowns. Bridal Christmas is anywhere from February to it could start in January and it goes to about mid-April. It is the busiest time that brides are going into boutiques. It's the busiest time for boutiques. So therefore, demand is higher, and dresses are taking longer to come in. So if you're going in expecting, oh, they said 4 to 6 months, it's probably going to come in closer to 4. If you're going in between those months, chances are it's going to be closer to 6. The other thing to keep in mind is Chinese New Year. It's in February. It also delays shipment because a lot of the designers get a lot of items or materials from China, and so therefore it's going to slow down production, it's going to slow down the designers, and it's just something that you need to keep in mind. It will take time to come in. So
look at your dress in plenty of time.
yes,
Leave lots of time to order.
keeping in mind the size and the time that it takes to order, you need to allow time for alterations because you will need to have it altered. Unless you are having it specially ordered, like I said before, chances are the length is standard. Doesn't matter the size that you are ordering. The length is typically standard, so pretty much every bride needs a hem. If you have lace detail on your hem, it's going to take longer. They'll have to do a lace removal. Most seamstresses will completely remove the lace, alter or hem the dress from the bottom, and then replace the lace. When they do that, they don't alter the train unless you specifically ask. It's typically just the front. Some seamstresses will alter at the waist if the dress allows it and it is the appropriate time to do that. Sometimes that's not the case and you want to have it hem from the bottom and not from the waist.
Rule of thumb is it's not like going to buy a cocktail dress or your prom dress that you did in high school.
Yeah.
You have to order, in most cases, you're going to have alterations. It fits you best. I think that one of the best stories that I have in that whole context was I'm going to speak to you moms a little bit too, and to the brides. When you're going out and shopping, moms always keep an open mind. Your daughter knows what's best. I always watched all those shows. We're in the industry. I said, I'm always just going to be encouraging. She looked beautiful in everything she ever tried. But the one gown when she walked out of the door and I said, oh, and she's like, I cried in the dressing room. I'm like, it's amazing. I love it. It's my favorite one.
But on my wedding day, I did remember that, and I did say, you didn't think this was my dress.
But I will tell you about alterations. She tried on that gown so many times before, we'd go in to look at hair and makeup and alteration appointments and shoes, and tried it on to make sure she still loved it, and tried it on when grandma came into town. We saw it so many different times. But I will tell you, after it was completely altered for her on her wedding day, it was never like another time I ever saw it. It was exquisite and beautiful and perfect. So alterations make all of the difference in the world. Keep that in mind.
And continuing on with alterations, remember to find a seamstress that you trust, okay? I understand if you go to the same gal every time for your jeans or for your top or for that dress that you're going to wear to Hawaii, but your wedding gown is so much different, okay? If they do not specialize in wedding gowns, please, please, please talk to them. Ask to see their work. I can't tell you how many times working in the salon somebody says, oh, I went to this one lady all the time for my jeans and she always did so good, and then they'd bring in their dress and be like, but she ruined my wedding gown. Okay, it was sad, and a lot of times we could have our seamstress fix it, but sometimes we just couldn't, and we had to do what we could to make it better, but it might not have been exactly so what they wanted because it was already too late. Like I said, once it's cut off, you can't put it back on. So make sure you take your shoes in with you when you go to alter your dress. Yes,
and your
undergarments. Whatever bra you're going to wear, whatever shoes you're going to wear, make sure that you have that on before you go in. Have those picked out because it will make a difference. And then when it comes to your wedding day, don't think, oh, now this bra feels stretched out because I put it on 5 times this month to have my dress altered. Wear the bra.
Yes.
Okay, you had that.
Change it up.
You had that, or don't wear a bra on your dress and have them put bra cups in, but don't change it up on your wedding day because the dress is altered to what you're wearing.
Yes.
I also cannot express enough to find a seamstress that is going to talk you through each thing. If they question you, that's because they know what they're doing. They aren't just, okay, sure, whatever, I'll cut that off, I'll take that train off. If they ask you 10 times, it's probably because
They
They
want you to
want
think
to be
differently.
sure. They
Yeah.
want you to know. Can't put the train back on. Bustles. Please, brides, if you are considering a bustle, don't say, well, it's just going to cost too much. I'll hold it all night.
Don't do
I
that.
can't tell you how many brides have stuffed their dress, their train, into their bra by the end of the night because they're sick of carrying it around, okay? The little loop on the bottom under the train, it's not
Not
there
holding.
to hold your dress, okay?
Yeah.
A lot of times like, oh, it has the wrist thing or the finger thing already on it. It's to hang it up, okay? That's for the dress to be hung up and put away, and it pulls the train up. It's going to flip it inside out most of the time. If you have the opportunity to bustle your dress,
Do so.
please bustle it.
And take somebody with you.
To learn it, yes. You will be so much happier on your wedding day if you go ahead and just have the dress bustled. So talking about all of that, alterations, typically they're going to start at the top of the dress and work their way down. If you need it tightened or you want to add straps, they're going to do all that before they hem it at all, because any alteration done to the top is going to raise the dress a little bit. So they're not going to cut it off, hopefully, until all that's been done. Typically, the hem is the last thing they'll do, and then the bustle. Once the bustle's on it, you're usually walking out the door with your dress. So
the other thing too is veil. I think veil is always, even if you don't think you're going to wear a veil, like, kind of like what she said in the beginning with, trying all different styles, try on a veil. When you finally pick the dress that you think you love,
try on the veil once you think you found the dress, or if you're stuck between two.
Yes.
Because the veil really does seal the deal.
It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it really makes you feel like a bride.
And so many brides say, oh, no, I don't want a veil, I don't want a veil. But the minute they put that veil on,
that's usually when the tears come.
It does,
so
it does
with
make
that
a
in mind.
But not till you think you know which dress you want.
Because if you say, oh, I'm so excited to put on a veil, and you put a veil on with every dress.
No, takes away.
Chances, well, what I've seen in the past with my experience watching brides put it on, they start to get confused right away. Oh my gosh, now I've put a veil on and I've created that bridal look with every single dress. Okay, if you know, like, oh, I don't like this, sometimes moms will be like, let's put a veil on and just see. No, don't do that. Moms, don't do that. Don't put a veil on until you have, maybe you're stuck between two.
There's something about it.
Maybe you really, this is really it. I just want that final push. Whatever it is, put the veil on last. And if you think, I'm not going to wear one, just try it on. And it's okay if you don't wear one. A lot of times brides are like, no, it's really, really not me. No, I really don't want the veil. No, it really doesn't go with my personality. Totally fine. Yeah. Don't feel forced to wear the veil. Moms, don't force them to wear the veil. They're not going to be at their happiest. They're going to feel uncomfortable, and it will show in pictures, and it will show in their personality.
But at least try one on.
At least try one on, and don't be like, I never thought I wanted one. I'm not going to do it if you really like it.
Yeah.
Wear the veil. Maybe just wear the veil for the ceremony and take it off for reception. That's very common to do. Yeah. But try veils on. Try different veils on. Be open-minded to the veil. Accessories. Try them on. You might as well.
Make sure you know what you want.
Yeah.
Make sure you pick those shoes out before your alterations, as she said.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, lots of things to think about when picking out your bridal gown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you don't have any questions, if you have any comments, again, leave them in the comment section below. We hope that you have a good time finding your dress, and that's our Tipsy Talk for today.